everyone. Joining me today is Annetta Benjamin of Benjamin Counseling Center. And Annetta and I have had the pleasure of working together before. And in the past, I had invited her to be a guest speaker and a presenter to the students at South County High School as part of the Max Scholars Program. Now, I want people to really connect with you, Annetta, because you're locally born and raised, and you set up roots right here. You graduated from Hayfield High School. You earned your master's degree in pastoral counseling from Marymount University. And guys, I'm going to include links to Annetta's website so you can have all of her information as well, and that you can see for yourself. But I want you to share with us a little bit more about your experience so people really know what you're bringing to the table in this session. So Annetta, tell us a little bit more about yourself and about your background.
Well, like you said, I'm locally raised here in Northern Virginia. I was born Fort Belvoir and then grew up in Lorton. And like you said, went to Hayfield Secondary School. I can't tell you the year though.
29 Club, darling, 29 Club.
That's right, that's right. And then I went to college right down the street in Arlington, Virginia, and that's where I got my bachelor's and my master's there at Marymount University. And then I just planted roots right back in the area. So I'm living and working in Woodbridge, Virginia. I have a practice that has been open now going on 10 years next year.
Congratulations. I am so proud of you.
Thank you. It is exciting, and you know, it's a blessing to be able to still be in business. My counseling center is called Benjamin Counseling Center, and we specialize in a variety of things. We work with kids, adults, couples. We do groups, social skills groups, but mostly we focus with helping people get through anxiety and depression and different illnesses that may, you know, interrupt your daily life. But it's something I totally enjoy, and it's been amazing to work with the people locally and getting to know new people in the area too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, there is no doubt in my mind that your voice, Annetta, is a voice that we need to hear right now. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So what I want to do today is kind of slice and dice the different segments or demographics, just the different types of people who are dealing with the stress of being isolated right now. Now, those of us who are working from home, you know, the routine is different. Not only do we have to do our job at home, but some of us are teachers, some of us are now full-time caregivers, not to mention the fact that since we are at home, you know, maybe some of our employers think we should be working all day and all night without a break. So my first question is, what are some of the top ways that people can deal with the stress that comes with being isolated right now?
Right. And this kind of goes into a book that I just put out there, you know, using your helpers and your hurts. And I think people really have to identify the things that help them and be mindful of the things that can hurt you too. But I think the number one thing is to just really be patient with yourself. You know, it is an adjustment period. It's something, you know, none of us have ever experienced before. I know I haven't in my lifetime. You know, I think the biggest thing I can kind of compare it to is maybe 9/11, but even with that, we still had our freedom to kind of go outside and do what we wanted.
Right, and that was just a one-day event. You know, it happened at, you know, one day, and it took us as a country a couple of days to process it, but you're right, we weren't isolated. We still had the freedom to leave the house.
Yes, yes. And I think, you know, 9/11, it did happen in that one day, you know, but it impacted people for like years, you know, but we saw our country kind of really come together, but we were kind of fearful at the same time, you know, what's going to happen next, or, you know, am I safe? And I think that's kind of what we're feeling now, but to a higher degree. So I think we all want to just be patient with ourselves and patient with the people in your home, you know, because it is an adjustment for everyone. It's an adjustment for your kids, for yourself, and your boss, your employers. I think everyone is trying to adjust day by day. So I think trying to have patience all around with yourself and other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you work a lot with children, a lot of teens. Now, if I'm a parent, what are some of the warning signs that I should be looking out for that my child may be stressing out or not handling this well?
Right. And that's a little bit difficult now because, when kids were in school and kind of hanging with um, their friends, you could say, oh, wow, they stopped hanging with my friends, or, they're no longer interested in activities, or they don't want to go to practice. But
Mhm.
all of that is kind of gone now because you have to stay home. And it
Right.
may be a little harder to see because kind of everyone is in isolation mode. But I would really listen to their words, if they're talking about how sad they are or how depressed they are or how they don't feel like living. I would look for those keywords and, their emotions. Are they crying consistently, or do they feel like there's no longer any hope? Because I know a lot of students were looking forward to their graduation or going
Yes, the
on.
seniors. Yeah.
Yes. And, there's some kids that are really devastated about that and just not being able to see their friends. But
Mhm.
I think if there's a pattern of consistent crying or consistent negative talking, I would pay attention to that and ask them how they're feeling.
Okay. What about if I'm a parent of small children, maybe the elementary school age, and right now we can't do the play dates and the play groups. We can't even go to the playground outside, because of
Yes.
the 6 feet of social distancing. What if I'm a parent of small kids? What are
Yeah.
some of the warning signs that may be different from the signs that you may see in teenage children?
Right. I think, some maybe just like the crying, isolation, or not wanting to play and participate in things, just in your home. If
Mhm.
they're not eating consistently, tearfulness. I think those are big things to look out for kids
Mhm.
and just kind of not wanting to be active
Okay.
because, the younger kids, I think they need more of a scheduled routine. They need to wake up at the same time, have breakfast, lunch, and dinner consistently. And I think that helps them feel safe and, happy because that's the way it was structured in schools, in the school setting.
Right, and that was actually one of my questions that I had jotted down to ask. Should everyone be on a schedule right now, every day? Who are the people that should be on a routine right now? And if I am on a routine or on a schedule, how do I add flexibility in that routine?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I think it's different for every age group, and I don't want to, you know, say that, oh, all kids in elementary school have to have a routine or all high
Right.
school students can, do whatever they want. I think it really depends on your child. Some kids are very independent and they
Mhm.
don't need to be structured in such a way because they're going to structure themselves. And
Right.
then you have other kids that, if you don't tell them what to do, they're not doing anything.
Right.
you know
I think we all know someone who has kids like
Yes,
that.
that's right. And my son, he's 11 years old, he's middle school, and
Mhm.
so he really does well with a list. I don't necessarily have a routine as far as, okay, you got to do this at 9 o'clock, you got to do this at 12 o'clock. I
Mhm.
just kind of give him a list and has a variety of, things that he can do. It has exercise,
Mhm.
reading,
Mhm.
getting online, or going outside in the backyard to shoot. So something that he can, stay active with, and also reading. And then he just makes sure that he gets it done that day. You
Right.
know, I think the smaller kids do have to be on a routine because, they're growing, they're developing,
Mhm.
so elementary school age, I would have them, getting up at a certain time,
Mhm.
maybe reading, getting dressed, taking a shower, going online to do some academic activities to really keep their brains active, or maybe having art time so they can kind of build their creativity too. And then of course, exercise, having playtime inside or outside the house, like in your backyard, to where they still have some freedom to, have
Right.
some fun.
Right. Now, what about parents of college age kids? I have two in college right now, and I know several of my friends also have college age kids. And I was talking to my daughter, and she said, Mom, my friend, she's really having a hard time right now because she feels like she doesn't have any friends at home. All of her friends
Mhm.
are, were at college. So
Right.
what are some of the things that we as parents of college age kids can be doing to help our kids right now?
Yeah, I think really encourage them to be independent, but active too. So encourage them to keep the connections with their friends and people that they developed close connections with in college or
Mhm.
in high school. Using social media in a positive way to just encourage one another and to really stay connected too. And I would encourage them to just be creative. If there's business ideas that they have, or
Yeah.
talents that they enjoy, whether it's music or makeup artists, you can encourage them to really deal or delve into the things that they enjoy
Mhm.
and, start sharing it with others, because we still have the internet, we still have
Right.
YouTube and social media where they can start showing their talents
Right.
and their friends can, support them too.
Right. Even if it's the latest TikTok video.
Yes, yes. Savage, right? Yes.
Yes, definitely. Now, let's kind of flip and talk a little bit about depression. I am definitely not experienced to talk about this, but one of the things that I've read is when it comes to depression, usually people tend to be more depressed at night versus during the day. Does it matter what time I get up? Does it matter what time I start my day? Should I be up and at 'em when the sun is out? Because I know that there are some people like me. I am a natural night owl.
Yes.
I seem to get this burst of energy between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. But
Uh-huh.
I can't do that every day because it means I can't consistently get up at 5:30 like I would normally do.
Yes.
But does it make a difference what time of day you get up?
I think it does. They say, the early bird gets the worm. And I think when you're dealing with depression, you're already starting off with like a disadvantage because you don't feel good, your thoughts may be negative. And so the earlier you get up and take action, you feel more productive and motivated. So, you don't have to get up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I am a one person who likes to sleep in.
Mhm.
I like those 9 a.m., 10 a.m.
Yeah,
wake up times.
yeah, and
But
there's nothing wrong with that.
yes, but I think you want to have a list of things that you're trying to accomplish or do that day so you can be productive. Because
Mhm.
the later you get up, the more lethargic you feel, or you feel
Mhm.
like you've already missed out on, maybe trying to exercise or
Right.
getting in some workout and you already feel like you're behind. So I
Mhm.
think getting up early is going to be the best bet because you're going to be able to start your day off in a productive way and feel more positive.
Right. And another article that I read talked about during this time, make sure you're using your bedroom only for sleeping. So
Hmm.
when you wake up, get up out of the bed and leave the bedroom,
Yes,
and
yes.
go to another part of the house. What do you
Yes,
say on that?
I agree. And I think the key is get up.
Right. Right.
You want to get up and get out of the bed. And because once you get up, it helps you recognize that there's something to do. But
Hmm.
if you already have it planned out the night before, and not that you have to have everything planned out for every single hour of the day, but that you just already have your goal set out. Okay, I'm going to exercise, or I'm going to you know, read or journal,
Hmm.
something productive. But like you said, get out of your room. Maybe you can go to your dining table, or if you have an office in your house, you can do
Hmm.
that where that's your productive spot. And
Right.
I think even for parents, if they can identify a place for the kids to kind of do their academic work,
Hmm.
will help them feel more productive too.
Right. Now, what about the single people? What
Hmm.
about the single people who are isolating and they are truly alone? There's no happy hours, there's no scheduled brunches, with the
Yes.
pals or the girls. What advice do you have for the single people who are isolating
Yes.
alone right now?
Yeah, and I think that differs depending on that person and their
Mhm.
personality, whether they were more outgoing first or more of an introvert. There are some people who are introverted and single and they are enjoying this. This is this is an
Not single,
excuse.
but introverted.
Yes, yes. This is an excuse for them to just, have life all to themselves. But
Yes,
then
my son is like that too. He's like, oh, what? It's the law. We got to stay at home. Woo
yes,
woo.
yes, and I have clients like that too, and I encourage them, but the goal is to stay connected. We want to be more outgoing, but I think this is the time once again to just explore your talents, to stay
Mhm.
creative. Maybe you learn a new, trade or something. You can go online and take courses or
That's a good
read.
idea. A lot of people are discovering some online classes right now that they never would have had the time to take.
Exactly. And a lot of that is free if you check out your online library in your local, in your area. They have a lot of online free courses that you can, check out.
Mhm.
But I think for the singles, you just want to stay, active and keep your mind occupied and connected with family and friends too, because even if you like being alone, you want to know that your family is doing okay and
Right,
checking on them once in a while.
right.
Social media is another way to stay connected as long as it's done in moderation to,
Yes, yes,
where you
because social media can be a huge time suck as well.
yes, yes, yes.
Because
And
you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and that feed never ends. It just constantly gets refreshed.
definitely you scroll your life away or the whole day away, and then next
Mhm.
thing you know, like the day is gone. So
Absolutely.
yes.
And one more group of people that I want to address. What about the people who are caregivers? Maybe they are taking care of an adult
Mhm,
or a high needs child right now, and they really because of the stay at home, they
mhm.
can't get a break. So
Right, right.
how do people in those types of situations, how do they cope?
Yeah, I think with caregivers, once again, you have to be patient with yourself. It is an adjustment period. You're full time, taking care of maybe a parent or another loved one. So just be patient and be able to kind of separate your time from caregiver and your own individual time. I really think you have to take breaks for yourself. And
Right.
even for people just working at home, we can tend to blend work and home life all together, and you want to really have a cutoff time. So if you're caring for a loved one, maybe you already have your breaks, maybe for 1 hour, maybe 12 to 1, you really use your escape and go to your room, maybe you read a book or take a nap. But I think really slowing down to be patient with yourself, be patient with your loved one, and really plan to have some time for you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Annetta, thank you so much. This was very helpful. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this.
You're welcome.
Sometimes people reach out to me by text or IM and they, just kind of share certain things. And I always say if one person has that question, odds are a lot of other people are thinking it. So I wanted to make sure that I had you to come on to talk to people about how to cope. So thank you so very much.
You're welcome. It was a
Now,
pleasure.
thank you. Now, if people want to get a hold of you, what is the best way to find you?
Sure. You can actually go to our website, which is www.benjamincounseling.com, and you can always fill out the contact information if you're interested in having a counseling session. I'm also able to be found on social media. I have an Instagram. It's Aneta LPC. And then also Facebook, we have a Facebook page for Benjamin Counseling Center, and you can always inbox or message us from there too.
Awesome. I will make sure that people know exactly how and where to find you. Thank you so much, Annetta.
You're welcome.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.